Hey, this is Kat from Red Mountain Shaman, and I share shamanic wisdom through dreams, visions, nature, synchronicities, intuition, channeling, art, music, photography, and shamanic journeys. Welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about a couple personal experiences that I had this week that led to a few questions that I wanted to ask Spirit. And before I get into that, I just wanted to say that after I put out my video last week, after I was talking about like the solar plexus having issues, and that is the seat of your power. So it's interesting. I feel like the solar plexus is asking us to kind of step into our power and our inner authority rather than external authority. And then I was also talking about in the channeling about addictions, and when you are getting rid of an addiction, it's a great idea to replace it with something that's positive so that you're not just thinking about what you're giving up, but you're replacing it with something positive. And it's funny because after I put out that video, like a couple days later, I was watching Lee Harris, and he's also a channeler, and he was talking about these same two things amongst a bunch of other stuff. But it was kind of nice to have confirmation and know that I'm not just pulling stuff out of the thin air, and that other people are kind of getting similar information. So that was kind of cool. I really like his work too. Seems very grounded if you want to check out his channel. So one thing that happened this week is that there was a truck across the street. We have an Airbnb across the street, and we don't own it, but there was a flying saucer truck in the driveway for several days. So I took a picture of it, and that's the cover of the video today. So I always feel like Spirit sometimes gives you funny synchronicities. So I kind of wanted to ask about that. And I also wanted to mention Jenny Lee the Seer. She has a channel. I really enjoy her work as well. And she made a drawing, and she says that it kind of looks like a teardrop UFO. And she is explaining that this is what the organic ships look like. And I was just in shock when I saw that drawing. I think she put that out maybe last week, if I remember right. But I was in shock when I saw that because that is exactly what I saw. Me and my husband were up in kind of this remote valley called Eden. It was kind of around that area in Utah. And in that same trip, I saw a lot what looked like Merkabas. Like I have a picture of that too. Maybe I'll show that to you guys sometimes. But it looked like a bunch of moving, kind of like orbs. But it was that same trip. And then I looked up way up in the sky, and it was like a teardrop shaped. And it didn't even look like this kind of matter. It looked like it was made out of more like energy, and it had like sparks flying out the back. So it more looked like it was made out of light. So that's what I saw, and I tried to show my husband, but he missed it, unfortunately, and I didn't get a picture of it, but it looked just like what Jenny Lee drew. And I've never heard anybody else talk about this shape of a ship. So that was really interesting, and I wanted to ask Spirit about that. The next thing that happened was I had my car break down about a half hour away from home. And so I had to have it towed, and I got to ride with the tow truck driver, and he ended up being such an awesome guy. We had so much in common about what was going on in the world, and we had a great conversation. And like me, he was also an ex-Mormon, and he was talking about how he got a ticket from a cop, and that I guess that cop ended up being going to jail or something for, I don't want to say it on this channel and get my channel flagged, but PEDO kind of stuff. And then he also said his bishop, and there were several other bishops that he knew of. And then he said that he got a ticket, and then his judge was also like convicted of the PEDO as well. And I told him, I'm like, oh, I actually saw that guy in the newspaper. So I kind of wanted to ask Spirit about that, because I feel like this is kind of the beginning of people who are kind of masquerading as church-going Christians like that are really doing this kind of stuff behind the scenes. And I think that's going to start coming out. And I also really feel like it's going to start coming out in like the top echelon leadership of not only the Mormon church, but also other churches. So, and I don't wish for this. It does not bring me joy, believe me. But I do feel that this needs to be rooted out, and that religion really needs a big purification process. And so I'm going to ask Spirit about that today. The next thing that I saw was a video by Mason Jupiter, and she does, I think she calls it the 3D deep dives. And one that she did this week was on narcissists, and they did a tarot reading. It's like a tag team. And one of them asks the questions, and then the other one pulls the cards. And great questions about narcissists, and the answers from the reading really resonated with me and the things that I've experienced. So I want to ask Spirit about that as well. And I may do a video in the future because my husband and I have really experienced a lot of narcissistic people come in and out of our life. So we might just get together and do another one of those live videos of us just having a conversation together, talking about how these people kind of showed their narcissistic side, and how we ended up actually becoming stronger because of them. So I do think that having these kind of narcissistic energies come into our life is a chance for us to have some soul growth and step into our power and our own authority. So with that being said, today when I tapped in to see which spirit guide wanted to come in and give a message to us, it was the Creator, which is always my honor to be a mouthpiece for the Creator. And so here is what I heard as I typed out the message and the words. My beloved family of light, I am with you always. I am the Great Spirit that flows through all things. I have come with guidance to steer you in the path of truth. I have come with love to surround you in trust of divine timing and faith that all is happening for the good of humanity. Your planet is now surrounded in the light of my all. There is nothing that can stop the rising of new earth. And all that is not of divine love must be seen and released. The ships you inquire of surround you also. These organic teardrop ships hold the frequency of the benevolent star races that many of you come from. In other words, these vessels carry your ancestral family. They are not seen by many. There are also inorganic craft. The government is aware of how to assemble them. So it is up to you, my children, to decipher, decode, and to discern. Just as you are seeing a split in consciousness upon your planet, there is also a split in consciousness within the heavens. As you have been told, this is a multi-dimensional event, and the light is winning. The time draws near that celebrations will ensue. The forces of darkness will indeed see justice come to their door. Those operating in darkness behind the mask of religion will also be seen on a worldwide scale. I will no longer allow the children to suffer, and their voices must be heard. The crimes against them must be seen. Mercy must be shown to them, as it is balanced with justice towards those who claim to lead religions but are far away from me with their actions. There is no time for further operations of darkness, for the light is steadily streaming in with the solar codes of light and transforming the frequencies of planet Earth. The oil is rising within the water and soon will be separating. Only the purity of the water will be left as this planet is cleansed and purified. Those operating in narcissistic energies who do not choose to become a vessel of love and service to others will have a difficult time with these solar energies that will continue to flood the earth with the light of creation. The process of purification has been happening and will continue as Mother Earth sheds her old abused essence and steps into her glory. And those of you who are choosing the path of light are indeed experiencing the same shedding of the old skin, so that rebirth and renewal is yours. There is nothing we cannot achieve or create together. Feel my presence. Find a place of solitude and seek my love. For love overcomes and love forges new pathways. As you reach out in gratitude, you will feel your vibration rise as we begin to co-create and build anew together. Those who are here to serve and volunteer to assist Earth with this great shift of consciousness and are opening their hearts to receive will see all needed resources flowing towards them in divine time, and they will witness the great transformation and restoration of all things within the earth realm. With patience, faith, and love, we will rebuild together. We will restore together. For my will is such, and the pure in heart will indeed inherit the earth and become wise stewards of her, as healing ensues and initiations and rites of passage are experienced. Many are indeed experiencing the hero's journey as you come full circle and as you walk through the fire and hold your heads high. Let the bells of liberation ring and the freedom flag fly. The eagle will sound the cry of freedom as old enslaving systems crumble before your eyes. Tip your hat to the new councils of light, ushering in the golden age. These councils will be expanded and lead with benevolence and care. The power will be returned to the people. Lasting peace, ingenuity, creativity, abundance, and prosperity is coming down the pike. Stand strong. Send out your prayers and intentions of love and protection. The nether world is on its last legs, and heaven is being called to earth. I will continue to show my hand in my own divine time and way. I will continue to create mirrors for humanity that cause them to look within and question the world around them. I will continue to create disruption so that people will no longer stand for injustice, greed, and corruption. And all is working for the highest good of humanity as we move into a new dawn. So be it. I am the mother and father of all creation. It is so. Thank you, Great Spirit. So Great Spirit's mentioning here something about the hero's journey. So I encourage you to look that up because that came through in somebody's session today. And it does feel like it's also meant for like the collective. And if you just look up the hero's journey and Carl Jung, there's a few YouTube videos about what it is. And it's basically just about overcoming the odds, overcoming obstacles, and moving into your power. And interestingly enough, I asked Great Spirit to draw a card for us today. This is from the Psychic Tarot deck by John Holland. And it's number 4, and the card is called Authority. And the front cover has a man kind of standing with his arms folded, like he's really in his own power. This card represents the masculine qualities of leadership, logic, strength, wisdom, and power. When this card emerges, it acts as a teaching tool, and in so doing, it is encouraging you to develop or reignite these qualities and tap into the masculine aspects of yourself. Other traits also included are good reasoning and problem-solving skills, being grounded, and learning to develop strong mental control over free-reigning emotions. Oftentimes, this card appears to symbolize a father figure or an individual of wise authority who may be present in your life. It could be someone of high influence in business or a prudent friend who uses logic and reason to create a positive outcome. Ask yourself whether it's time to take on and emulate similar qualities. Now is when you must act like a leader and exert your will by incorporating form and structure into ideas, plans, and foundations. It's time to stop talking and act in order to achieve what you must. Use the qualities and character of the authority card so that when you need to make a choice, you approach it from a place of wisdom, rationality, logic, and grace, rather than one of foolishness, belligerence, greed, and self-centeredness. The way in which you acquire, handle, and wield power and authority is now being tested. So I feel like this card is kind of saying that when opportunities do start coming in for the collective to take them seriously and use our wisdom and strength and inner authority in the decisions that we make with what we want to do with these opportunities. And also involving Great Spirit to help us make these decisions so that we can co-create, so that we're not just like coming from our ego, but we're standing in our inner authority and the God within us, and we're co-creating with Mother, Father, God. So that's kind of what I'm getting from that card. But if you're getting any other messages, feel free to type in the comments what you got out of it. So I hope you guys all have an excellent week. If you'd like to connect with me and book a session, please go to redmountainshaman.com and you can go to my contact page and get directions on how to book a session. Until next Sunday, I hope you guys have a great week. Don't forget to press the like, subscribe, and notification bell if you enjoy the content here. It helps to get my video out to more people. And I will talk to you guys next Sunday. Take care.